The Rap Roundtable.
The lunch hour makes its return. We know it's been Fridays. You know, we ain't ate together. We changed tables. But the lunch hour is officially back on deck. Hip hop provided the news for us to get our eats. Pull up to the table, get comfortable. Make sure you got your condiments, your napkins, all that. Because if you leave, you lose your seat.
Now?
You know, your condiments.
Oh, copy. Hey, yo. Whoa. Early.
Just a little ketchup and mustard, mayo, if that's your advice. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, it's your boy Job here alongside Sincere Rap Snob, alongside Deanie the Balance. Maceo be joining the table a little bit later on in the episode. We're holding the seat for him. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who's tapping in with the Rap Round Table. Of course, you know what I mean? You can find a Rap Round Table, you know what I mean, right here on social media. Make sure you follow us there. Help us get our follows up, especially on Instagram. Instagram is a certain kind of game that I ain't figured out yet. I ain't gonna lie to you. But just follow us over there. We got about damn near 13.4, I think, subscribers now.
Yeah, we're
close
moving
to.
up.
Yeah.
We need 13.4 followers on Instagram. So when you real quick while we're talking and we're doing our pleasantries, run to Instagram, hit the follow, and come right back. That's all you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Not quick.
Hit that like button. I see the likes creeping up. We need 300 likes on every video. We need the comments running up as well. But 300 likes gets us in that algorithm, gets us moving. It helps us build a brand, get the Rap Roundtable as far as we can get this brand going. You know what I mean? But enough of that. I hope y'all get comfortable because
chill, hit those links at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Tap in.
Roundtablemerch.com. Deanie, can you give a code for that hat real quick?
Get with the gang. Get with the gang.
Cop the hats. Cop the hat. We about to sell out. Don't miss out. You know what I mean? Because I don't know when we gonna re-up.
More merch on the way.
Don't be the oddball who ain't cop yet. Shout out to everybody who has cop.
Salute.
People who went to the Roundtable merch store multiple occasions and bought more than once. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? And if you feeling generous, go ahead,
randomly support the movement. You know what I mean? The Rap Roundtable at the Cash App.
Appreciate it.
Just support, just for supporting's sake. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Appreciate everything, yo.
But now, you know, we done got all the safe vibes out the way. Because it's not safe for rap because this man is rolling out. J. Cole is on deck.
Hey, who called that? Real quick.
I think you did, son. Talk your shit.
So sincere.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what
hey,
I
mean? Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Little slander to start it.
A little more fun and vibes, Sin.
Come on.
Nah, but Sid definitely called it. He felt the force. Pause. We talking about Star Wars now. Get your mind out the gutter. The force told him that J. Cole was on the way. Yeah. And now we getting this rollout. We getting something a little bit unique with the visuals. But I'll let Sincere Rap Snob break down what's on deck from the guy J. Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole, man. So, like I was saying, I felt something in the air, something in the force telling me, yo, J. Cole is gonna probably drop around spring. It's February. It's about to be March. Spring is right around the corner, and he's on the way. So the way that we found out about this is kind of a little different from a regular announcement / rollout. This is actually because I want to get into this. This is what I love about what J. Cole is doing right now. This rollout right now is starting off beautifully. The man went and made a secret YouTube channel, threw up a vlog video, right? That's showing all the different things that he's getting into, his shows, him traveling. He threw a little snippet of some new music in there too, packaged it up. I love the editing style of it. I love, all the bells and whistles he put into this. But what I love the most about this is that he didn't announce it with his name attached to it. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't announce it from his Twitter or from his YouTube. Like, he went and made like some secret shit and kind of let it bubble into this rollout that we're seeing now. Obviously, everybody has found out about it now. We've all seen it. But I love his approach to this because I feel like J. Cole right now, he gets it. Like, a lot of the things that we say here at the table, he gets it. He's in that same frame of mind where it's like, it's hard to be creative these days. with everything being so readily accessible, you know, the streams makes everything so homogenous. Like, how do you separate yourself? How do you inject freshness into the culture and into the landscape? And what he did with this, I feel like it's injecting some freshness. It's injecting some newness. It's giving that feeling of like, I mean, obviously J. Cole is a megastar at this point, but he's at least trying to inject that feeling of newness, freshness. Like, you know what I mean? Like trying to at least kind of pretend like he's not J. Cole for a second. He's some, you know, no-name dude with like, you know, a secret, you know, YouTube channel that nobody knows about. And he's just gonna release a video of him just hanging out with his peoples, hanging out, talking about the studio, going out to eat, talking to, you know, the staff at the restaurant, you know what I mean? Showing the clips at his shows. Like the whole package to me, pause.
Hey,
but the whole way he's put this together, I love this rollout, or at least how it's starting off. Obviously, This is not the end all be all of the rollout. You know what I mean? This is volume 1, as he put it, might delete later, volume 1. But I love how this is starting off. Cole has absolutely made me a fan. As you know, if you rock with us at the table for a long time, you'll know early on I wasn't big on Cole. You know what I mean? But I'm sold right now. Cole is that guy right now. He is him right now. Yo, I'm looking forward to the rest of this rollout. I'm looking forward to the project coming out. It should be a good one.
that's a fact. Deanie, jump in here, bro. You see Cole making these moves, laying the foundation for the fall off. What do you think about it?
Pretty much everything since said, man, and just to add on to what he said, just how throughout the whole process it's just been so organic, man. It's like since Cole has come into his own, you know, I'd say for me that was around like Forest Hill Drive and further, because I was kind of on the same boat with Sin. Like, I respect that he could rap, but it wasn't moving me. But now, like, the music to this day, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's the hair, I don't know if it's hooping every couple of days. I don't know what he got going on outside of that, but it's definitely working with the music. Shout out to the way the video was cut. It really gives you old school, like classic video vibes, you know what I'm saying? And nothing feels forced. It feels so genuine. Just even the kicking it with the homies, having the homies introduce certain locations, just having vibes on the video, just having Drake let you know what's going on with the big is the what. So I thought it was major. And the whole dropping it with no actual like real representation, just on some low shit, I think that was a game changer too. And for it to have spread the way it has, pause, you know what I'm saying, it shows just the infectiousness of the music. The music is fire outside of just the sonics. I think the combination of the two is fire. We don't really get full-length visuals like that anymore. This was like a 10-minute run with the visuals and the tunes. Like, J. Cole's on fire. I personally think the album's gonna be fire. There hasn't been nothing. Well, no, that was dope too. The one with the Asian kid. You know what I'm saying? He still did his thing. There hasn't been anything whack like in a really long time. Not to say he was whack before, but everything has just been like on fuego. You get what I'm saying? He's in a whole different bag, and I'm really liking because I felt like that was the Cole we got in the beginning. I feel like that was Cole thinking he's trying to be Hove. You get what I'm saying? I feel like he was just trying to force it. I'm trying to make records to move the ladies. I'm trying to make records to move the homies.
At the beginning of his career.
Yeah, like the college days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like now, he's grown into a man in this game, bro. And it feels he's doing everything he wants to do. It doesn't feel like he's forced to do anything. It doesn't feel like he can be coerced. He's free. You know what I'm saying? He seems very free, just in the way he dresses, the way he carries himself, the moves he's making. Just salute to him. Keep cooking, brother.
Fair play. To your point about the early stages, for me, I'm not saying I don't have any factors like insider information, but from my vantage point, it felt like in the beginning stages he was trying to be on his Ye vibes, like trying to be like a little niche with the music, connect with the college audience, or connect with us. Kanye connected with a very specific audience before he ventured off. It sure seemed like his subject matter, he was trying to like really connect with a specific audience, being at college age, people who were still kind of a little shaky about who they were personally and emotionally. Because you think about the people who first came to us, I always joke about our old coworker, but it wasn't just him. A lot of people, the original J. Cole fan, I would say maybe 65% of them weren't quote heads. They were people who probably loved Kanye and loved Kanye's aesthetic, but they didn't love hip hop how we loved hip hop, but they loved Ye. And then they ventured down the block. Oh, J. Cole, I like this vibe. I like what he's doing. I like this kind of energy he's coming with. And of course, it doesn't hurt that he's with the original Roc Nation. He was the first. Was he not like the first artist on the Roc Nation? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so probably had a blueprint, pun intended, to follow, and he followed it. And then once he ventured off on his own, I don't know what the Roc Nation connection is to this day. I don't know if he's affiliated at all. If there's some shadow arrangement that you don't see in the credit, you know how that shit go in the rap game. You still be affiliated, but you don't see it in the credits. And niggas get their percentage, etc. But it's like as he's ventured off on his own to become his own man. For me, I think the first time I noticed it was that joint he did when he was on a bus and he was talking about false prophets.
Yeah,
that was one of the first times I took him seriously. I was like, oh, this man, he got a little Ginsu here, like. Because I never looked at him as a spitter before. He was a nigga. I always knew he could rap and he's nice, but like he wasn't somebody I took seriously. You know, it's around that time we had a little quibbles with Wale as well. Like, oh, all right, he could. And he comes outside and he's doing features with niggas that you would never think he would get in the ring with. People who probably not on his level artistically or lyrically, and he's delivering the bars. Then he's getting in and collaborating with rappers who are on his level, and he's out rapping them. So it's like, oh, all right, Cole. Like watching his evolution. Then you drop the KOD album where he's calling out the fuck nigga rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he
little pumps in them.
Yeah, and he changes his sound a little bit because the Sonics for a while were very boring. No disrespect to Cole, he was doing his own production a lot, but the Sonics changed, the pocket work changed, the rhyme schemes changed. He became a little bit more aggressive, a little more dexterous, a little more chest pumping. Like I'm really him. And at a certain point, he kind of shed that Drake energy as well, light skinned, soft type rapper. So like, yo, he one of them ones.
Yeah.
Now we see this rollout, and it's like, for me, I'm getting the video game vibes, and I see the video and shit. Like, you know what, for me, bro, because I'm getting older, and we've seen so much in this rap shit. We just see niggas trying to do a surprise album. I tell you, Thursday night, my shit drop at midnight Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Niggas are real lazy. So to see people being very thoughtful and intentional about a rollout. We were talking about Q on 91. Now we still, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys are taking time, and I'm gonna talk my shit for the pod. We was the ones crying a year ago. Where are the proper rollouts? I'm pretty sure, based on people who know who we are, I'm sure those conversations cross certain desks. And it doesn't surprise me that these people are trying to do proper rollouts again. I'm gonna talk my shit because we know niggas. We don't brag too much, but we know niggas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cole. I love the visuals, but the rapping though. Yeah. Has Cole ever really rhymed like he's the king of rap? Because he said it on this shit. He said he that nigga.
So here's the thing that really stuck out to me. Or one of the things that really stuck out to me about the video, the visual that he put out. He was talking near the end of it about, because you see him like trying to put together a beat. You know what I mean? And then he was talking about how, like he feels like he's rusty, like he hasn't made a beat in so long because he's been focusing so intently on the rapping, on writing, on getting that pen sharp, on sharpening the Ginsu. And that's exactly what we've all experienced. We've all seen it. We've seen it in the last several years. You know what I mean? Like he just keeps getting sharper and sharper with the bars. And that moment in the vlog like spoke to that. You know what I mean? Now you said a few minutes ago, like, you know what I mean, early on he used to do a lot of his production, and if I'm gonna be honest, his production was a little hit or miss for me. You know what I mean? And so it'll be interesting to see moving forward, because if he puts that little snippet in the video, maybe he's getting back a little bit back into his production bag, and it might make one or two of his productions might make its way onto the fall off. We don't know. It remains to be seen, but it'll be interesting to see how if he does have some production hand in the project, how that's going to sound today after it's been a while since he's really touched the beat pads and everything. You know what I mean? So yeah.
But to say, basically saying that some guys are scared and he just keep getting better, to say that he's trying to make, it's almost like he's making reasonable last.
Yeah,
Like this is
That was
big
crazy.
talk, Deanie.
That was crazy.
That didn't move you, Deanie?
Nah, that was crazy. The ball work was impeccable. Like
You know what I'm
it has been for the last few years. Like he's low key been the undisputed nigga for the last few years. He just don't reach up to claim the crown the way like a Kendrick did back in the days, or like a Drake did. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yo, this is mine. Kind of just get the fuck out of my way. It's what I got now. He wasn't so boastful with this shit, but now he's like, yo, like, and this shit he just dropped. He's telling you now. Now he's speaking directly to you, like, I'm here. I'm him. I am D1. I'm the Neo of this shit. And
bro,
he
this
ain't
shit
feel
means
sense, my
something
nigga.
to me, bro. Like, cause it's been so long, B. And I don't care, niggas get in the comments and they say what they want to say. Not YouTube, but like on the socials when we throw out clips up. And then you always have that 27-year-old nigga calling us old and shit. And it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck what you say. It means something to me to hear rappers talking about being the best. Cause we grew up like somebody had to be the best. And for Cole to put this in perspective, even with Benny on Big Dog, one of the first bars of the Big Dog song, when he said King of New York, put it out there. Yeah, I said it. If I'm not mistaken, when Kiss the Ring came out, Rome was kind of talking that King of New York shit. Yeah. So to see enter Griselda competition, like it don't gotta be beef to be competitive, to be the best, the biggest, or what. Like again, like we talked about, when them niggas said that shit, they are dropping a gauntlet and saying they the best. It wasn't no Drake singing and doing no melodic shit. He was rapping. Then they spun the block on Scary Hours 3, rapping, bro. Mm-hmm. And we debated who had the better verse. It's been so long since people who we weren't listening to when we were growing up made us want to have conversations about who the best. Notice now that Big Three conversation is perking up again about Kendrick, Cole, and Drake, because niggas is outside and they doing things to make us wonder, like, are these dudes really aiming for that throne or some artistic shit? It ain't about clout. It ain't about clicks. It ain't about being goofy. It's about music. And I'm not mad at it, bro. Like, I'm excited. I ain't been this excited about them niggas ever. I ain't gonna lie.
Even Drake was hungry on that shit. Drake was like, me and Cole, the best niggas out here. Everybody else just basically hit. Because, you know what I'm saying? So even he reached out for that. So because
Drake know Cole about to move him.
Yo, listen. I have a tweet here. I meant to send it to the group chat, but I'll just drop it here since we're on this topic already. It's by @Del Nelson. He said Kendrick Lamar is gonna look real crazy when them campfire songs he has on that hard drive with Baby Keem drop, while J. Cole and Drake are rapping like rent is due.
Oh, damn it, man.
Didn't we say that a few weeks ago, bro?
Let's talk about
it. Yo, listen.
They moving him out the way, bro.
And Kendrick's my guy. Kendrick's my guy.
That's why I was like, Kendrick need to. I know y'all laughed at me, but it's like Keem ain't enough. I'm sorry, Keem is not enough.
It's not.
If Drake is having his pen pushed by Cole, who you could argue is the best of the new era right now as of this second, Baby Keem ain't enough. Or is Kendrick gonna show niggas what he showed niggas on that Control shit? I don't need nobody.
It's got to be that.
Is that Kendrick right now though? Is that where Kendrick's at?
We don't know.
If he still cares about, and again, he alluded to not caring about rankings anymore. He alluded to not, to sort of shedding himself from that pressure of being the best or the king of this shit.
He's smoking on top 5.
But if he's smoking on top 5, then that means that you still in the ring, doggy. Like you gotta show and prove, bro.
Is Sin calling out Kendrick?
It sounds like it.
Listen, because I
respect it.
Because here's the thing: as much of a Kendrick guy as I am, I'm seeing this ascent of J. Cole, and it's not stopping. You know what I mean? It's been years now, and I've been looking at it, and I'm like, yo, is this guy gonna slow down at all? Like, he's not slowing down. The bars are getting sharper. The confidence is getting bigger. And like his presence in the game is becoming more. It's just becoming larger. It's just he's taking up. Like he's not gonna leave room for anybody left. Like his presence in the game just feels like it's getting bigger and bigger as time goes along. And so you know what I mean. Obviously Drake is who he is. Kendrick is who he is, but right now I feel like Cole is the centerpiece of that trinity.
There's no better duo right now, bro. You can't find. I don't care who you link Kendrick with. There's no better duo than Cole and Drake right now.
Wow, Mace, you walking at the right time.
Perfect time,
but
bro.
even fuck Drake. Fuck Drake. Drake is on Cole's sideline right now, bro. This is his time. This is his.
Cole got it right now.
Rapping, yeah. I'm talking about with the combination of the best nigga rapping and the best nigga with the sonics. That's dangerous, bro.
We ain't talking all that, Dini. This is it's Cole's time.
Drake is the best nigga with the sonics.
Hey,
who's
I'm on board. I'm on board with
Talk
that.
to me, Mace.
I don't think Drake got better sonics than Ye, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, right. I wasn't counting Ye.
Right now, we gotta get Drake. We gotta get Mace on deck here. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about the rollout. First and foremost, you've seen the early stages of this rollout. J. Cole for the Fallout. What are your takeaways from what he's done so far to pique interest in this new project?
You know, I'm impressed. You know what I mean? J. Cole, one of the few people that just raps, will get you, you know, in tune for the new album. You know, no antics, no, no shade room shit. You know what I mean? No beef. You know what I mean? Pause. But you know, so I'm impressed. You know what I mean? Jake, he's got the ear of the game right now. You know what I mean? So he's being very meticulous. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, the rap fans are going crazy over the Reasonable Doubt line. You know what I mean? I seen that quoted endlessly on the timeline. But, you know, listen, and he's out on tour with Drake right now, the opener on Drake's tour, to let him know. But, you know what I mean? So I think right now, listen, he's on the road. He's in recording mode. He already murdered the game last year. This is how you're supposed to do it. The feature run into the album. So listen, man. It seemed like the heavy hitters decided this is the year. So Cole, what's going on with it? You know what I mean? What's the vibe?
And now we saying like the man is he's piqued our interest as far as the competition between the big three, Cole, Drake, Kendrick. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Like this is the first time in a while where we feel like all three guys are in a position where this is a conversation that needs to be had. So Mace, you see it like Kendrick is lurking. Let's call it what it is. Drake dropped a project and a half essentially. He's aligned himself with J. Cole because Drake is no dummy. What do you think about this trinity now? Is there a clear number one? Is Drake trying to like get out of the fade by standing next to Cole? Can Kendrick push both of them out the way?
Cole's number one right now.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not as angry as Dini. Kendrick is one of those artists that always has the opportunity to capture the game back. Like we gotta give him that credit, Dean. I'm sorry, bro. Like we're gonna listen
I don't know.
when he drops.
Cole can't make a hardcore 5. That's the last song that really
was crazy. That was
from
crazy.
From the three of them that really moved me is the Hard Part 5. Like I go back to that and I get goosebumps every time.
R.I.P. Cole.
If Kendrick decided to answer Drake's phone calls and we got a Drake-Kendrick collab, that would be the most exciting thing in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we love first-person shooter, you know what I'm saying? We love evil ways, but if Kendrick and Drake got in the booth,
I don't know.
Like,
Drake. I can see Drake liking the dissension and be like, "Nah, you stay over there, nigga." You know what I'm saying? We got a little thing going on over here.
You gotta find a way to separate those personal feelings from
bro.
Being
It's not
bro.
personal.
You acting like you got beef with, bro.
It's not personal feelings. Think about it.
You don't think Cole and Kendrick get together right now? It would be the biggest thing.
Why hasn't it happened? It's been forever and a day.
Talking about Mason saying if they get together, it will be the biggest thing.
If they did, but I just say I don't think Drake will fuck with it. I personally don't.
If he decided to respond to Drake's bars, that would be a bigger news story than anything this year. If Kendrick just went Control Part 2 on niggas, like we gotta give Kendrick his presence is. You know what I mean? And he's built like I get it. Mid-step is we gonna flame it forever, Dean. I promise you. When we great grandfathers, we gonna bring up Kendrick's auntie, bro. I promise. But,
that's gonna be a joke forever.
You know what I'm saying? But the discography speaks for itself. So it's like Kendrick has built up enough goodwill that we gotta expect that. Like we don't think he heard what me and you was saying, bro. Like, come on now.
I mean, we've heard some music since. We've heard some music. You know what I'm saying? We heard the Chanel commercial. You know what I'm saying? We heard joints. It was that LV joint. We heard joints. Were you compelled by the music he was dropping? Were you compelled?
Absolutely not.
If he went Baby Keem, I don't want it. Kendrick by himself, but Kendrick and Keem ain't the same Kendrick.
But what about it? Like, what if Kendrick is on this new Schoolboy LP? We don't think
different.
That's gonna be crazy.
We going judging by what Schoolboy's
low
doing.
Key, he's on one of those songs doing like a little vocal shit. One of them 3 joints that he put out, Kendrick is doing some background work. So
right.
You know what I mean? He gonna get a verse.
Yo, don't let him get a verse on this album.
I just hope it's fire.
I will be insufferable.
I know you will. I know you will.
Y'all will not hear the end of me.
If it's on Hillbilly Time, I will be insufferable too, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
bring the pain.
Schoolboy and Kendrick ain't making no hillbillies.
I hope not.
You can quote me on that right now.
As the OVO captain, I gotta keep it real. Drake is in the most vulnerable position here because he's dropped the most music. You know what I mean? We waiting to hear what Cole has said. You know what I mean? Kendrick can always scrub away what happened before. Drake is the one who's continuously dropped. It's been hit, it's been missed. It's been hit, it's been missed. You know what I mean? So it's like his numbers are always gonna number. You know what I mean? But I feel like Drake might be in the most vulnerable position of the big 3 right now. Honestly, you know, and this is from the OVO captain. You know what I mean? We can always take back
this year.
I think Cole with the fall off is in position to be the unanimous number 1, like to end the conversation. What this album does, it will either end the conversation or leave the door open for a Kendrick or even a Drake to make it even more blurry. You know what I'm saying? But he got it. He's in pole position right now to run away with this shit.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
He really is, man. He really is. And it's
winning.
Like he's the opposite of Kendrick, right? Everything he's dropped, we've liked. So it's like, I don't know, Dan, like, you know, a lot of people are still, crazy as it sounds, some people are still on the fence about J. Cole. So this can really be like that one for him. You know what I mean? This can be the solidifier.
I don't think as much as, I mean, definitely nowhere near like it used to be. I think a lot of people have come around. I think a lot of people see that it's been too much good music, bro, over the last couple of years to like still have that doubt. It's been consistent too.
I agree.
Some people just get stuck on first impressions and they don't want to admit it. You dig? Yeah. That's all it is. But we gotta move on.
J. Cole hater like me could
bro, this whole panel, we was all cut. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Flame on.
We used to all cut. But listen, we gotta move on. We done spent almost a half hour talking about Cole, but it was some quality talk, you know what I mean? But Dame Dash.
Oh man.
You know, a ruling came down that states that in order to pay a debt that he owes, an $823,000 debt, Ace Deuce Trey debt, you know what I mean? He has to sell his share of Rocafella in order to pay it. So my thing is, how does a judge get to decide how Dame pay? Is that the asset essentially that can pay for whatever he owes because he's not liquid enough? I'm not necessarily sure. I'm actually confused by that. Sincere Rap Snob, do you have any like openings or can we go? Matter of fact, Mace, take your shit off mute. You the perfect person. This is industry shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the situation with this whole thing? Like specifically, why did the judge decide that his share of Rocafella is what's needed to pay this debt?
Well, they always go after what's worth the most money, Job. Okay. And at the end of the day, on the record, right? Because Dame is a person who himself will claim that he gets money, he spends it. He gets money, he spends it. So we don't want to act like Dame is destitute here. Right. He's not under the bridge, begging for change. He hasn't screamed Showtime on the 2 train. All right, guys.
Right, but a million damn near liquid is tough to just have in this climate.
That's heavy.
And it can be argued that he always spends it so quick because he's in debt. You know what I mean? So he don't want them to garnish these wages. So at the end of the day, Dame, one of the hugest assets he has are his Roc-A-Fella shit. You know what I mean? You know, his real estate is in shambles. You know what I mean? Like I forgot the name of the app he put out with the, you know, he's not making profit from this. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Dame. He's not making profit from this. So it's like this is what Dame has that's worth money now. I think it's kind of crazy that the last thing left, because I feel like Dame could have made a lot more money from these Roc-A-Fella shares in 2005. You know what I mean? When Jay was trying to buy it from him, maybe, you know, 2012 when Roc Nation was forming. There were a lot of times where Dame could have made a lot more money off of this rather than be ordered to just give up the bread. You know what I mean? So So Dame's in a bad position right now, John. Like, what like I feel like they say that we flame him up too much. They say that we dance on Dame's grave, but it's in the writing. The judge ordered. The judge want the bread, man. Give it up.
That's tough. You know what, guys? Because we had the pre-show conversation, I kind of want to go second on this one. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because you know what? When people hear this particular story, you know what I'm saying? They knee-jerk reaction, they Tourette's twitch, you know what I'm saying? Would be to immediately blame Jay-Z. This is Jigga's fault. Like, immediately. The Jigga man. It's his fault. He's such a bad guy. But in the subheadline of this article, despite their personal issues, even Jay-Z attempted to stop the motion. In the article, it says, despite the years of tension between them, Jay-Z and fellow Roc-A-Fella boss Kareem Biggs Burke objected to the auction of Dame shares, claiming the company bylaws mandate that the board of directors first approve the sell-off. Judge Lerberger, Dame was already in trouble with a name like that off the rip. However, determined that his share qualifies as a personal asset that can be seized in order to pay his debts. So it's like the people seeing this article, who don't do research, would immediately assume that somehow Jay-Z, being the nefarious individual that he is, had something to do with this.
He's pulling all the puppet strings.
Yes,
you know
they'll even say that he bought Vibe magazine and forced Vibe to write what I just read.
Oh, man.
But the legal proceedings are what they are. Him and Biggs, a person that people thought had beef with Jay, and Jay treats everyone so bad, including Biggs. Yet Biggs is Rock Nation just as much as anybody else is. If Hov is there in a big event, Biggs is right there, low key, quiet as kept, the silent partner to this day. So for me, I want to shake the table a little bit. For Dame, I don't want this to happen to Dame. Dame deserves to keep his share of Roc-A-Fella. Even with all the bad will, I want to ruin all the narratives. I want Jay to get in front of this and pay off the fucking debt so that Dame can keep Roc-A-Fella, just so niggas would be sick to their stomach. You know, because that would ruin everything. It would ruin every narrative. Yo, listen, you know what? If you blocking the motion, I know Dame has talked a lot, and Jay's a petty guy, but he could have also said no. Him and Biggs, they did the right thing. What's $1 million to Jay-Z? Well, it's not even a whole million.
Well,
I need this to happen.
I think this is why Jay is your favorite rapper, because y'all probably have similar ways of thinking. He's probably thinking the same thing. He's probably like, you know what? I'm gonna stop the motion, and I'm gonna pay it off, so that I can have this over his head for the rest of his life.
I ain't shit like that.
Everybody's heads for the rest of everybody's life.
Nah, you know what, Sin, you right. Because if I hate you enough and I get that over you, bro, I'm gonna wear it forever.
Because
$823K.
What's $1 million for him?
A tax write-off. Because you know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of want this to happen. I'm speaking it into existence.
Not out of goodwill, out of sheer pettiness.
Just to see how the whole haters will spin this.
And then put it in a bar.
Yes.
Yo, sick.
Yo, Diddy, what you think about all of this, man?
I can't.
Closer to a Dame and Jay reunion?
I can't see that happening, bro. Because to be honest, if Hov was on that type of time, he could. This isn't Dame's first bout with chasing some old money issues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you wanted to be the Lord and Savior Hov, you could have did this years ago, so he wouldn't be in these financial restraints.
That child support,
you did,
that
bro.
rent.
There's a lot of shit
that got repoed.
The movies,
it's a lot of time.
Come on, my nigga. Like, there's a lot of assistance that could have been.
But is this the first time Roc-A-Fella has come up?
Because the other assets are drained, my nigga. It's like a house. Once they got your back to the wall, they can take the house you live in, my nigga. We can't take this nigga's royalties.
All the more reason. This is the last thing that you have, Dame.
Bruh.
This is the last thing that you have.
I can't see Hov doing that.
You can't see Hov doing that.
I would see Hov buying it from the nigga before paying the nigga off.
I can see
you know what I'm saying? And just give me the last shares, and you're officially the fuck out of here. I can see Hov doing that on some like
jail over that, bro.
And I'm not saying Hov should. I'm just saying if you want the ultimate fuck you bar, you know what I'm saying, that you want to put in the song, you know what I'm saying, buying a nigga out of the company is kind of, that's a different kind of rap, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Don't buy him out. Just pay off his debt and do him that solid. Olive branch.
Yeah.
They're not, but the real niggas not gonna see it like that. Real niggas gonna see it like he Jada Pinkett and he went to go see Nate. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga. Go ahead, Mace.
Now I was gonna say, who's not a real nigga here because he's helped Lil Wayne pay his taxes, he's helped Fat Joe pay his taxes, he's helped Jim Jones with some financial things. You know what I mean? He's helped Meek Mill with some financial things. Are those not
legal
real
things
niggas?
Too?
Are those not real niggas? Listen.
But I can't think of no time outside of Fat Joe and basketball talk. I can't think of how many of those niggas flame this nigga Hov the way Dame has. You know what I'm saying? Especially over the last few years.
Yeah, but none of those. Yeah, Jim was wild annoying in 07.
Wayne said he was going to kidnap his wife.
That's rap shit, bro. I'm talking about like as far as like plain old interviews, like yo, this nigga's a terrible human, bro. Like we don't really have that like that.
But that's the thing, their relationship is deeper than rap. Therefore, a man could go get his feelings off, but then in a time of need, the Godfather to Lil Diggy, you know what I'm saying? Remember Dame Big Son, Hov is Godfather. Yo. Sometimes you gotta just do shit. Put it this way. Like we see on a much exponentially lower scale. I had a fallout with Langston. Bad fallout. Yet and still 5 years, we do our 5-year reunion. We shook hands and we moved on as men. Why can't Dame and Jay do that? If Jay's so petty, he could have blocked the motion or he could have voted yes. Fuck Dame. Let Dame lose his shit. Him and Biggs, for all things that were said, still did right by the name Rocafella.
I mean, you and Lang ain't share a lady. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I said on an exponentially lesser scale.
That's a lot of and millions weren't involved. You get what I'm saying? These are things that really changed the fucking game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but who's hurting? Jay or Dame?
Dame, no question.
So what are we saying?
What I'm saying is this. Outside of Hov kind of like shrugging the shoulders, there's no real winning it for him. Like, maybe he wants this nigga to have pure sufferation. I just don't know where Hov is at on it will be beautiful. Don't get me wrong. What you're saying, it will be magical for all the niggas that was Rock fans that want to see that. But I just don't think Hov want to let that nigga off that hook. I think
just for the sake of us being on the same page, because I'm a little confused. We're saying that Hov should just pay it. The 800,000 and change, and
just to get him out the bond and keep his role.
You're saying you're saying that it's clip. You don't even see him doing that.
I don't.
Okay, that's
I would see Hov more saying, "Here, nigga, give me the rock royalties for 1.5. Take this little extra change and see your way out of here." If Hov really want to if you really want to put something in the song to make the streets go, nah, that nigga's different. That's a different kind of grind. But to do it your way will be a different kind of love. So I will respect either way. You get what I'm saying? But I just know how it is when niggas is beefing.
You don't think it's feasible?
I don't. In all honesty, like we're all talking shit here, we're all having fun, but I don't see it happening.
You don't think so?
I don't see it happening. No.
I'm gonna say it happens based on everything that we know historically, and the fact that a positive step in just saying nah, everybody got to vote off in that, and they did right to say no, even with all the beef, and the fact that Jay has been known to do solace to niggas in financial strains, people he's had real problems with. Why not? It will, in fact, based on the Lil Wayne, Capo, Fat Joe, Meek Mill, and whomever else that we don't even know about, this will be par for the course.
It just seems like those beefs were much lower stakes.
There you go.
Pettier beefs.
More superficial.
You know what I mean?
But there's emotion involved in this, and that could go in a different type of direction. It could go worse. To Deanie's point, it could get even pettier. Or Hov could be like, you know what, bro, this shit been whack. We've been at this forever. We don't even need to be in this position anymore.
Like,
yo,
nigga, this is Roc Nation brunch money. Take that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That would be magical, my nigga. Disney magical. You know what I'm saying? It would be Fantasia-esque. You dig? But I think Cam will get a call before Hove at this point.
Here's the other question: would Dame even accept it? What is pride?
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Pride is the devil, man. That shit.
The whole point of Dame doing these interviews is because he's hurt, gang. It ain't about pride. You think he really want to be at odds with Jay-Z? He don't. Niggas don't talk this much about niggas that they want beef with, bro.
They do talk that much about niggas they're scorned with, though.
We looking at the ego of it all, right? And even us, we making jokes. You know I'm gonna make my jokes, y'all. Like,
of course, nigga.
I think this is what everybody says. Why don't Dame and Jay just get back together, right? Everybody ultimately wants that, right? That's what everybody wants, and I feel like this could be a step towards that. You know what I mean? Jay got an album coming up. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? They can have they arm around each other on some, you know what I mean? Reunion type shit. Who knows? You know what I mean?
I would agree with you, Mace, but I low key, and this might be a little far fetched, but low key, I think Dame looks at all the niggas that Hove had those past issues with, and see how they kind of like surrounding them now, kind of look at niggas like they suck it. So I don't think he would be accepting of that. You get what I'm saying?
Make it that. It don't have to be that. You know what I mean? That's Dame's ego talking himself. You know what I mean? Like,
niggas.
Hey, man.
I mean, like I said, that would be
motion ordering you to give up your shit. You know,
that would be magical,
like,
bro.
Like, the devil, man.
That would break the internet if that happened. That would.
You know, you call yourself the balance, but you the most negative out of the four of us more often than not, bro.
Because the negative shit happens, bro, and it happens a lot. You get
positive
what I'm saying?
Things happen also,
absolutely. But I'm just.
But you lean into the negative, gang.
Of course.
But then you're not the balance. You the dark side.
But I'm not. Let me cook.
Anytime we say, "Yo, what if this happened for the greater good?" Dini be like, "Nah, Mo, I don't see it."
But in this instance,
you're not fucking with it.
In this instance, we have, like I said, if this was his first step at rock bottom, I would understand. You know what I'm saying? But this is like the 5th or 6th step of rock bottom. This is like the how many bankruptcies, bro? Like, Hove could have stepped in and saved this nigga a lot of time.
No, they just saying to pay off this particular debt, his greatest asset will be the best way to pay it off. I'm saying if Jay wants to continue the goodwill, him and Biggs already voted against it, right? And we know what Rocafella, the name, means to all three in particular, and what it would mean to the culture to extend a little olive branch. He could get in front of it, use his coin, Judge Lerberger here, and everybody wins. They don't gotta be friends. They don't gotta hug it out on stage nowhere. But it will be a great look. That's all I'm saying.
Amazing look.
Macito, you got anything to add before we close this topic out, bro?
I think I was making my jokes at first, but ultimately I think that it would be a good move. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean? Because it can't look any crazier for it to be like Jay-Z pays your debts than Judge orders you to pay your debts. You know what I mean? They both crazy headlines. You know what I mean? So. Why not you know what I mean? Why not get the Rock back together, man?
I'm all about exploding that, getting rid of the silly narrative.
You gotta take all them videos down, and after that, you gotta call all them interviews. Yeah, nigga, you can't.
You don't
forever talk shit about me, and I'm saving you, nigga. What the fuck we look like?
Former friends.
Retract, redact, resnack, whatever you want to do, nigga. Like, you ain't gonna be on shit talking me and I'm saving. It's essentially a lifeline.
I think Dame would rather be bankrupt, bro.
That's what
I really feel.
I respect that. Like, instead of just being wild negative, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. Cause Dini, bro, you disgust me. You know what I mean? Jeezy, Tiny
Jeezy.
Because it's like, yo, bro, we just say to do a little positive vibe. You know what I mean?
It sounds beautiful, goddamn. It sounds beautiful.
You're right.
Fuck Dave, fuck Kendrick.
Fuck all them niggas. Fuck 3 Stacks. 12.
I love to see it.
Fuck
Lauren. That's a fact. When you cross Dini or Dini get a certain perspective, that's it, bro.
I'll never forget you.
You gotta put bread in his pocket to get him to forgive you. Word to
I'll never forget you.
Lil Wayne couldn't give Beanie no amount of money to say
yo,
bro. I'm
damn it, man.
That fix them locks too. Free smoke.
You need to light these locks. It's over with, bro. Oh, you know what I mean? Yo, anyway, Tiny Desk, Young Jeezy, to much fanfare initially, was announced. I think it all this felt like it happened in a week. Like last week, this time we wasn't thinking about Jeezy doing Tiny Desk. Then about around Tuesday, it was like, oh, Jeezy doing Tiny Desk. Then the Tiny Desk happens, and then it happened. You dig? Like usually, Tiny Desk happens. It's almost like a mini Super Bowl stimulus for the artist. You get in the conversations, you have some viral moments, your streams go up, shit just eats. You dig? Yeah. But then Jeezy, a lot of people, the narrative is that he got exposed and this Tiny Desk is a dud. Consider the rap snob. What are your thoughts on Jeezy's Tiny Desk? Pause. I just feel like I gotta pause that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For some reason.
I agree. It's the syllables.
So for journalistic purposes, I went and watched I hadn't seen the clips, but I went and watched the whole thing just to see how accurate the assessments are out there in the Twitter sphere. And the consensus is pretty accurate. It's just pretty lackluster, man. Now, look, to be fair to Jeezy, the last rapper to be on the Tiny Desk, I believe, was Scarface. I don't think there's been another rapper since Scarface. So any other rapper that was coming after Scarface was immediately set up for disappointment, right? But still in all, I feel like they could have picked a better follow-up to Scarface than Jeezy, because Jeezy, and look, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I feel like if there's any rapper who, I'm gonna put it like this: if getting carried by beats was a person, it'd be Jeezy. If getting carried by production was a person, it would be Young Jeezy. And so to come on this platform, this sort of unplugged-ish type of platform, where, you know what I mean, you're not gonna have the big booming sonics, you know what I mean? You're gonna have like acoustic instruments playing behind you. We all know Jeezy's. We wouldn't consider Jeezy a lyricist. I don't think I'm being slanderous by saying that. He's not much of an orator. He's not much of a performer. You know what I mean? So it's just like he's there and he's bare, right? Pause. But I mean, he's like, there's nothing really there to cover up all the blemishes of who he is as an artist. You know what I mean? And so Jarv nailed it with the word exposed. He looked exposed out there. You know what I mean? He was low on energy. He was forgetting lyrics. The crowd wasn't even really into it. He seemed like he wasn't really into it. He looked like he ain't even really rehearsed for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, he just said, yo, let me get my bag so I can get out of here. You know what I mean? And it's bad. And such a stark contrast to what Scarface did on that platform. It's just, it's bad for Jeezy, man. Bad all around. Definitely exposed. It's like, and I'm gonna take a little page out of Deanie's book here. It's like when you take a bad chick home, and then she starts taking off all the padding, and then yo, you mid.
Oh my god,
Jeezy was mid, bro.
Shout out to Sid.
Macito, jump in, bro.
Just flamed
Shout
up
out to
Jeezy
Sid, man.
Listen, if this is the last episode of the Rap Roundtable, it's gonna get a run. You know what I mean?
Beautiful run.
Deanie the dog sided is Cinder Chef today, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I don't know if anybody watched this terrible dunk contest. Jaylen Brown, the Jaylen Brown special, Mac McClung part no. And it was so bad that I went back to the 2000 dunk contest, the Vince Carter Classic, T-Mac, Steve Francis. After Vince Carter did his first reverse 360 windmill, Jerry Stackhouse was the next up. Jerry Stackhouse did some wild 360. The shit was tough. The crowd didn't even stand. You know what I mean?
That might be a great like sports trivia question. Who went on after Vince Carter? Because I don't remember that.
You gotta go back and rewatch.
I was like, who was the fourth nigga? I remember the other three.
Mace, I'm sorry to cut you off, but had you not said that, I would have not remembered that. I remember franchise T-Mac v Carter. I don't remember Stackhouse in that. Thank you for that. Carry on, sir.
Culture.
I'm the person you call for your lifeline or who wants to be a millionaire. But afterwards, you know, Stackhouse did his thing. Stackhouse, high flyer, North Carolina did his thing. Good dunk. The crowd didn't care. Craig Sager interviewed him after, and even Stackhouse was laughing. He was like, "You saw what Vince just did." They were both laughing. That's what just happened to Jeezy, bro. He went after the greatest hip hop Tiny Desk performance that we ever had, one that took us off guard, from an underappreciated artist, an artist that never gets the credit they deserve, who just happens to be great in acoustic setting, so much so that he's going on an acoustic tour because of the Tiny Desk situation. Now, I agree with you, Sin. Like, this setting isn't made for Jeezy. Jeezy would be better with the type of beats and the type of production he did. He would be better. Those are stadium beats. You know what I mean? Those are the type of vibes. We like the ad-libs for Jeezy. We like the haunting fucking keys and shit. You know what I mean? Like, this was not the way for him to go. Now, it could be argued that Jerry Stackhouse should not have entered this dunk contest. I agree with you, Sam. Like, he clearly just wanted the bag.
No
you know
reason.
what I'm saying?
No reason.
He clearly saw how it worked for another Southern legend and said, hey, I want that look. Let me do this. But listen, at the end of the day, on the fucking, you know, Hard Knock Life tour, they said Jay-Z looked mid after DMX went. You know what I'm saying? It's all about who you follow, man. So I'm not going to drag Jeezy too much. I think he's a legendary figure. I'm glad that, you know, he did his little thing. Clearly it wasn't Scarface, and clearly Jeezy isn't Scarface as an artist, but he followed a classic. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't do him too
Maybe
good.
Dini could bring some positivity to this one.
Actually, I think I am, because
my guy.
Because when I'm listening, first of all, to follow up a Southern act, it is dope to follow up with a Southern act. When you think of like the biggest Southern acts, especially when you think of Atlanta, you can't talk about it without talking about Jeezy. Granted, I'm not the biggest Jeezy fan, especially back then. It took me a while to come around on Jeezy. I fuck with Jeezy today. You know what I'm saying? But when he first dropped, he was on super like snarl and I wasn't really too big on Jeezy. But the thing I will give him, it's because he doesn't have the snarl anymore, why that shit wasn't hitting the way it used to, bro. The snarl helped him carry the song and the beat. Like, if you just take any Jeezy song, and then what? He don't have the no more. So now he just like, and then what? He's talking on the rap while rapping now. He's not rapping like he used to. So that shit used to carry the record. I just remember the sound of Jeezy's voice, bro, would have people going crazy. Just the pure, just Southern growl, snarl, whatever you want to call it. The drag on the voice is what made him catch all the beats perfectly. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that no more. I think he said he had vocal cord surgery or something. Rapping like this for fucking 15 years.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So his voice don't even do what it used to. So he's not in the same way, kind of like Beans, but his just shit is not as obviously not as.
Nah, it's not like Beans.
It's
bro.
It's not as advanced. I'm talking about, but he can't manipulate his voice to make that sound anymore, bro. It's like when DMX lost he couldn't do it the same way anymore. Once you lose that sound, it changes the way you rap. It changes your flow, your tempo, your cadence. And I think that was one of the reasons outside of the low energy why he just couldn't. Because Jeezy's an energy nigga, bro. Like, we not going to act like when Jeezy used to cut in the spots. And then what? Like, how we used to kind of like, there was bouncy songs. He just don't have the same bounce. I'll give him that. Other than that, I thought it was cool. Not too good to follow up Scarface, but it was cool. And I respect Jeezy for what he's done. He's a staple of his state, bro. Big staple.
You know, here's what I'll say. I feel like, you know, we spend a lot of time talking about like Sonics. You know what I mean? Like outside of Ye, and I'd even argue before Ye. Ye stadium music, Ye For me, didn't happen till around Graduationist.
Yeah.
Which means that Jeezy was really the first nigga who was really on that sonical experience. Like it was a combination of the voice, the beats, the way the ad-libs were manipulated in a way. It wasn't just random cheers a year. Like the ad-libs added to the song. The ad-lib, one of the first things that Jeezy went to quote viral for before we knew what viral was the ad-libs. And then a lot of niggas tried to do the same shit. I think T.I., you think about what you know about that. He was doing his best Jeezy impersonation with that. You know what I'm saying? I think Dipset, Capo kind of embedded some of that ad-lib energy as well. He was big on sonics. Like he was like that person, you got a certain weakness, and in this case, it might be the bars. So let me hide my quote weakness with all this other shit to make it work. You know what I mean? You got a nigga, a basketball player who can't shoot, but he's athletic as fuck. You put the ball in his hands, you let him create for the shooters around him. In this case, the shooters around him was the beats, the bass, the ad-libs, the soul, because it's like his voice itself added even more soul to the song. You know what I'm saying? So I say all of that to say, when you get into a tiny desk environment, that's like you shooting a fade without your superpowers. Tiny Desk is not for the Sonics. It's not for all the extras. Tiny Desk is almost as bare bones as doing Unplugged back in the day. It's live instrumentation. It's none of the extras. There's no stadium noise. There's no real crowd participation like that. There's no booming crowd participation. Because he was trying to get the crowd that was there involved, and they just did a terrible job. Let's call it what it is. I don't know. They acted like they were in the library or something. But it's like you asked.
Is that their fault or his fault though?
Good question.
He didn't even do the hits though. He left a lot of joints on the table.
That's true too.
Right.
He didn't have nobody that was born when he was out there.
There you go. I'm not sure if you look. I'd have to do the research because I didn't think we were gonna end up here. But it's like I don't know how many rappers in his class, like the mid aughts into late aughts, have done Tiny Desk. Is that his audience? Is that where he's supposed to be? But then again, if a JID could go and do Tiny Desk and kill it, why can't a Jeezy do a Tiny Desk and kill it? You know what I'm saying? But then again, JID, he don't need the extras. He's a lyricist. To me, Tiny Desk is veered more towards people whose best instrument is their voice and their words. Exactly. If you got all the extra shit and you don't got the bars, because that's what somebody said on Twitter. Somebody flat out said Tiny Desk exposed the fact that Jeezy has no bars. And it was like, ooh. And I'm like, Jeezy, he might not have been the most rapidy rap.
And it didn't come from my burner, y'all.
No, it wasn't his burner.
Not this time.
It wasn't like Jeezy never been rapidy rap, but he always had great messages. Yeah. His messaging was always all world to me. And I always jokingly say, the funny thing about Jeezy was as he got nicer, his audience decreased. It was the wildest thing to watch in real time. When Jeezy wasn't trying to be nice with flows and bars, it was like, oh, this thing is the best thing on this ever. Then he got nice and it was like he started just becoming just another guy. But to do Tiny Desk, to take your powers away, to be Superman and fight a nigga with kryptonite in your back pocket, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a dud. I'm gonna say it is what it is. And it's his own fault. You can't do that type of show, bro. You don't got and the thing is, you don't even got like the showmanship. Like to sit down talking. You know how like case in point, Scarface doing the shit, talking in between the songs and creating a certain level of ambiance and gravitas to the moment. Jeezy looked uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
And he was trying to, but it was like a bunch of platitudes. Like it was
like we got Jeezy to offer that down, bro.
When you come from where I come from, you gotta you know put your best foot forward and just mad platitudes, bro. Like
this ain't nothing new, bro.
You mentioned bars, right? And it's interesting because on Twitter /X, it's been a little conversation about conventional lyricism. And I know Tony the Dome, Mad Slander, a bunch of the characters on hip hop Twitter have gotten into it. You know what I mean? And it's like even Scarface, right? Scarface don't have bars in the way that when niggas say bars, what you think, but his lyrics are meaningful. You know what I mean? And that's what exposes. That's to me what exposes more than anything. When your lyrics have no depth, no subject matter. just meaningless lyrics. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it exposes that even more.
But also, Scarface was an all-rater, right? And a lot of the MCs that we love whose voice carries the way that they did, like the Bigs, Pac was an all-rater. You know what I mean? Like it makes up a lot for what we might consider dexterous bars and lyrics and flows. If they don't quite have that, they have to have that gift of being an all-rater and having that voice carry and being able to like hit different vocal tones and inflections. But Jeezy didn't have that. And to Deanie's point earlier, like maybe he had a different approach to manipulating his voice, but if he can't do that anymore, that's what we're left with, what we watched.
That's a fact. And honestly, you know what? And this is to because I don't want to OD. You know what I mean? We have a habit here where we make people uncomfortable, where we might pile on an artist too much, and it seems like we're being negative. It's just what we're just trying to say is, in a tiny desk environment, I don't really think that's the place for him. Because I could also say, to shoot bail and be fair to Jeezy, in that versus environment against Gucci, in that world, he's one of the best to ever do it. You put him in a club, you give him a microphone, you put the instrumental on, in that environment, the dim lights, the energy, the tension, he's one of the best. But in that environment, you can't, that's not your world, gang. You know what I'm saying?
Jeezy fan in
I want to follow Jeezy at Phillips Arena. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be the first to tell you he look. A lot of people will say different. He watched Gucci.
Oh, he got him out of there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I am sorry. He watched Gucci.
The only people who say Jeezy lost is because they was on street shit. Like, why would you do a verse with this guy? Whatever. We talking about the music. This ain't the street round table. This is the rap round table. And song for song,
what are we doing?
Jeezy don't have no records.
He cooked.
Jeezy
bro.
don't have records like that. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Gucci don't have records like
that. It really, that verses really wasn't close. Like it is probably the lower verses. They lie about that verses. Song for song, it wasn't. It should have been Jeezy versus Rose. That was the verses we deserved. You know what I'm saying?
Gucci had to bring up the dead homies. He was like, nah, I ain't taking no losses.
But you know what? Before we get out of here, we running long on time. Niggas got to go back to work. Let's get into that Ransom, y'all. Yeah, their homie Ransom, Boldy James looking up. 2024 is looking like it's gonna be one of them years, man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's recency bias. Maybe I'm overexcited. But from what I heard, Rand and Boldy, they kind of cooked. Harry Fraud did his part too. So set the raps up. Talk to me, bro.
He did right.
Look, man. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Harry Fraud because I feel like I haven't heard La Musica de Harry Fraud in a little minute. I went and checked on Apple Music, and the last thing that I heard from him was with like 38 Special, and he had a project with Currency, and he had a few other projects. But I feel like his presence hasn't really been in the game. This joint right here with Ransom and Boldy, Harry Fraud's presence is back in the game. This beat was smooth. It was chopped well. It was melodic. The sample was crazy. I gotta hear it a few more times. I don't know if I kind of low key in the middle of it wish like some drums would have worked their way in, but also I know that like sometimes you just get a sample and it's so beautiful and you just want to let it breathe and do what it do on its own. So I respect it. I respect the move, keeping it drumless. You know what I mean? Ransom he's a beast on any kind of beat, but he's a special kind of MC on the drumless joints, man. The way he spit on this shit is impeccable. I got some bars that I pulled up that were like near the end of his verse that were super impressive when he was like, but in the bando, I'm like Rambo when the land blows. Y'all like Sambos, I'm a grandfather like Brando. Like the way he was stacking
crazy
those multi-syllables, bro. Ransom is just on another level, man. Shouts to Boldy too. Boldy did his thing. I want to hear more from Boldy and Ransom in the future. Maybe they could do a project together. I don't know. Maybe this is some, a project they might be working on together. Who knows? It's just when I first heard about Live at the Roxy, I thought it was going to be a project, so I got super hyped. It's just a single. It's one joint, but it's a hell of a joint. All of them did their thing. Salute to all of them, bro. Dope joint.
Not mad at it. Dini the Balance, jump in here. Talk to us, man.
Fire. Shout out to Harry Fraud. Definitely back. Love the sample. Love what he did with it. Like you said, Sin. Some joints, sometimes the sample talks to you, and adding drums could just sometimes just knock it off kilter. You get what I'm saying? You know what it is. Yeah. You're a producer. You know the vibes. So I'm glad he left it the way he left it. Shout out to Boldy. I feel like whenever Boldy I like Boldy starting the track. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I like Ransom finishing the track. So it worked out really good. Bars to death. I love the Biggie bars. I didn't get to document the bars like Sin is a true connoisseur. But the Biggie bars, the one where he was like, we'd rather be big than something about, and then be Jordan, be Wallace. But it was fire. Right.
Yeah.
I want to give props to Boldy. I know we always talk about Ransom because Ransom is the bar guy, but there's something about setting the tone. You get what I'm saying? And I think he set a dope tone for Ransom to come in there and body the beat the way he did. Production fire. Pocket fire. Bars fire. I have no negatives. I didn't ask for drums. I wasn't on. I didn't think it needed drums. I thought it was fire the way it was, and I hope this is the precursor to something else in the future. I thought it was dope.
Lil
Sin.
I'm right on board with the fellas. I wasn't even super aware of the Live at the Roxy situation. So just hearing a dope single from Ransom and Boldy, like I'm always with that. Now Harry Fraud, I'm a big Harry Fraud fan, bro. Like, to me, Harry Fraud is always going to be French Montana and the Coke Boys producer from 2012, making them street anthems. Like, I get he in his underground bag now, but I know Harry Fraud is like a street producer. Making, you know what I mean? So I like the fact that he found his way, you know what I mean? Because, like, if you think of that era, you know what I mean? You probably thought Harriet and Clam's Casino was going to take over the game, and neither of them really blew up the way they were really supposed to. So to see Harry have like this resurgence with the over underground, I think it's very dope. And in my opinion, excluding Alchemist, you know, the go to the scene, I like Harry as much or more than Conductor, than Derringer, than everybody in the space. I'll be honest. I'm a huge Harry Fraud fan, bro. Like, Harry Fraud's one of those dudes that I actually will just listen to his instrumentals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shouts to Harry, man. He for sure. Now, Ransom, you know what I mean? What can we say about Ransom? Y'all, we could all go through the bars, the wire, you know what I mean? Because you mentioned the wireless shit. It was a wire metaphor that he was bringing all the way through. That was like the final bar in the punch right there. Like, Ransom, like, crazy. I feel like you gotta, like, it's almost like you judging with a handicap, right? Like, when we say best rapper in the game, we don't even mean Ransom, right? Because he's clearly like the nicest nigga out, right? Like, I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, but, like, you know, like, come on now. We know what Ransom is. So it's like, I think it's dope. Him and Boldy always well together. I'm a fan of Ransom and Rome. That's really what I want to hear again. You know what I mean? Boldy, I wouldn't say I'm as much of a Boldy fan as the scene. You know, niggas hold Boldy like to the highest standard. You know what I mean? Niggas got Boldy above Khan, above Benny, above everybody. Niggas love Boldy. You know what I mean? And shouts to him because his discography has spoken for itself. Me personally, that's not my sound. It's not I'm not running around bumping Boldy, but I recognize what he brings to the game and the impact that he's made. So shouts to Boldy as well. Just a dope joint. Like, I feel like nobody thinks that when they see Ransom, Boldy James, and Harry Fraud that it's going to be whack, right? They delivered, which is hard to do when you're expected to deliver, but they definitely delivered.
And that's what I'd like to say. Like, I had a completely different idea of what the song was gonna like sound like because it's Harry Fraud, and we know Harry Fraud, like, he has, I don't want to call it vibey, but he has a more smooth, a little bit more bounce, a little more energy, but still raw. Like I love me personally when Harry Fraud and Chinks Drugs used to get together. Rest in peace to Chinks. Like I used to love when them guys got together because they found that right balance of just everything you need. You could get on the radio with it. You could play it on a block. You could play it in the car. It was beautiful. So when I heard Harry Fraud, I'm like, all right, they gonna do something a little different. We're gonna smooth it out. We're gonna move away from the drumless vibes. Then the beat came on. I'm like, oh, Harry Fraud is a magician. He getting his hip boy on. I could do this fucking drumless shit. And quite frankly, I could find a better loop there than all of these niggas because that beat, oh my, that was better than everything on Boldy last project with Craven. No disrespect to the Boldy fans, no disrespect to the Craven fans, but that right there,
tough.
Oh,
tough.
I'm sorry. Smooth. And we're burying the lead on Boldy. Boldy delivered. In fact, Boldy almost seems like he's been taking heed to the criticisms of the people who do criticize him and not the people who love him and just want more of the same. Some people say he's a little too boring. He's a little too dreary with the flow. The energy and the tempo within the flow was up. And I even kind of noticed that towards the end of his last project. He's not trying to be super laid back Boldy anymore. He can't help his voice and his tonality, but he can also perk the energy up. And it seems like he's trying to raise the level. Again, that competition. He's on Griselda or Phil. I don't know if he's still signing Griselda. I got to go do my own research because I felt like on the Craven tape, I didn't see anything that says Griselda in the credits, but it's like he's affiliated. And if you look at everyone who's affiliated with that crew and what they bring to the table, you got to give all of them getting better. Say what you want about Benny, and I know the cool thing is to bang on Benny because everybody can't go, but Benny got better. Conway got better. Rome Streets got better. We know how Stove coming. We know how Westside coming. And that's just to name 5. There's way more other artists on the Griselda label who are all textbook A-level spitters. So he's getting better, and it's something to be said for Boldy to understand that you're in the ring with Ransom,
the Shogun.
You can't just bullshit. You bring your C game, because especially if you're going first. And remember, we talked to Rome when we did the Rome interview at the Coupe de Gras listening, and Rome said he knew he had to push his pen because Ransom is one of them ones. There's a certain pressure that as artists they gotta feel when you get in there with Ransom. In fact, we talked about Cole earlier. If Cole want to show us something, out rap Ransom on a song. Give Ransom a feature on your next project, or get on a Ransom project. If you're really him,
talk about it.
The big bad wolf on the East Coast is in New Jersey, and his name is Ransom. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? But the song, the beat, yo, I love to see the evolving of the underground. This isn't your typical drumless song. This is a song, fellas.
They did right.
Yeah. Had the hook and everything, you know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
Hard work, vibe.
You know what I'm saying? So I seen you raising your hair. I know you had a couple more takes you wanted to get off.
Oh, no. I don't, no. That might have been me glitching. I was
listen. And based on the credits, it's a Harry Fraud and Ransom project that's coming up next. That is a beautiful pivot for Ransom. He's worked with so many people, including Craven. But I think that it's almost like, to use a video game reference, I think Fraud and Ransom is that next thing when you get the little Xbox, you unlock this, or you get the next level up. I think that Fraud and Ran is gonna be if this is any indication, we're gonna have a great spring, y'all. I don't know what summer's looking like, but spring 2024 is about to be epic. My cars I'm already downloading songs. I'm even downloading R&B songs. It's kind of fire. Like, this is gonna be a good year for me.
Yeah, some joints out, man.
2024 looking I'm excited. You know, Ran, you are welcome to come to the Rap Roundtable and talk about it. In fact, you know, we're gonna reach out to Ran and see if we can make this happen. It's time. You know what I mean?
It is. Let's go, Ran.
Let's make this happen. You know what I mean? But Dini the Balance, this has been a fun episode. It's been a strong week for the Rap Roundtable, creatively. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're cooking up with these pods.
Beautiful vibe. And the people fucking with us. Shout out to y'all for fucking with us, man. We couldn't do it without y'all.
Talk about it.
Hell of an audience, man.
And last but not least, as always, before I pass it to Dini, let me just show you one more time. 300 likes. Hit the like button. We need 300.
Cost you nothing.
300.
Cost you nothing. Stop being stingy with them likes. 300 likes. Roundtablemerch.com. Get your merch. Cop the truckers. If you're feeling generous, the Cash App is right there. Run it up. Dini, take us home.
You heard my brother, man. Before you get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button. Fuck with the gang. Roundtable merch. Get you a trucker. We got a lot of shit on the way. Whatever y'all give to us, we put right back into the game. Shout out to Jav, the point guard. Shout out to Sid, the rap snob. Shout out to Macito, the voice of the industry. I'm Dean the Balance. And this is the lunch hour, y'all. Holla at your boys, you dig? Boom!
Don't get fired.
I haven't said that one in a while.